welcome to your Cochrane Right Now. This is the podcast all about the best town in the world, Cochrane, Alberta. As always, my name's Eric Ruddle, here with Lauren Meister. And Lauren, of course, it's called the Calgary Stampede, but it should be called the Cochrane and Friends Stampede, right?
It's true. And actually I think it's Yahoo, not yeehaw. I think that's what you're supposed to say
if
for
you're
Stampede.
in Calgary, you're Yahooing. Here in Cochrane, we're a yeehaw community.
I don't know. I feel like you're not supposed to say yeehaw when you're associating with the Stampede. It's Yahoo. That's what they're known for.
That's a tough call, you know? I think you should be able to use both interchangeably.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's 2024. Let yeehaw have its chance.
It's inclusive
in the
of everything.
Exactly. And really, there is so much going on around Cochrane. We really take the Stampede seriously. Like, we're in full cowboy getup, and we are not the outliers here in the community. We blend right in, and there's been so many different breakfasts, different lunches, different just even fun community gatherings around town.
It's pretty cool to see. It's pretty much every single day, different businesses or community organizations have, come together to hand out free food, really, and to get everybody together. And it's really, really cool to see the amount of people that just dress to the nines. They pull out all of their Western gear. They dust off their boots and their hat and, put their Wranglers on. And they just want to celebrate as a community and celebrate our Western heritage and our Western spirit.
And it's really cool that the Calgary Stampede actually acknowledges what goes on in Cochrane. They send out representatives. That's the word.
Yeah.
They send them out to Cochrane to give you little plaques if you host an actual Stampede event.
Yeah, so we actually held the Cochrane Now second annual Stampede breakfast just yesterday, and somebody came out and handed us this, and it's pretty cool. So this is actually, every year the Calgary Stampede, they always have a different picture. It's hand, painted, and it's, it's like the painting of the year. So this is a plaque just saying that we're celebrating the Western heritage, and we got a little special presentation from someone, which is really cool. But what a party. Well over 1,000 people coming out. And, I think you and I chatted about this yesterday. We looked out and there were so many faces we didn't even recognize, too. We kind of thought, we're going to know most of the people there. And we definitely knew a lot of people. But, Cochrane is growing so much. There's so many people in this community that are, newer to our community. And it was just so cool to see people coming and wanting to celebrate.
And it's been very special this year. I think more than any other year. We are meeting people who are new to town from outside of Canada, outside of North America, where this stuff doesn't really happen. So to them, it is truly something special. We were talking to a family from Colombia yesterday, and they were just so appreciative of these free pancakes that we kind of take for granted at this time of year. Of course, there's going to be free food everywhere, but This is something truly, truly special to the Calgary region, which of course includes us. So I absolutely love that. And it's so big that there was actually a film crew here from Slovakia doing a full show for only their country.
Yeah, that is crazy. So they've gone to over 100 countries or so over the last few years.
Decades. So it's one of the biggest shows in their country. And they travel around, then they talk to people who are living in these communities who are originally from their country there. And I was up at the Sunset one, just actually not even working, just with my family, and I ran into Mayor Jeff Denung. He's like, you gotta go talk to this lady, because she was a Cochranite, but originally from there. And this film crew was over the moon, just walking around getting film and stuff. I was talking to them, and they're like, do you give away food often? I was like, we have this, we have light up, we have different breakfasts, different hot dog events. And they're like, this doesn't happen in Europe. You do not give away free food. You don't have community like this. You have neighbors, and maybe you'll have a party with them, but you don't see the entire town come out for something. So that's going to air sometime in 2024. It is definitely not in English, And the crew did not speak English, but we got our points across.
Yeah.
Kind of, and they were so jacked.
It's so cool because it's something that I wouldn't have thought that'd be that unique to just us.
Yeah.
You know, but apparently in other cultures it is. And nothing says community and party better than free food. You know, as soon as you say free food, you know you're going to have a party and you're going to have a gathering and you're going to have a good time.
Yeah. And of course, this is so cool. The Blue Jays are in town. Like the Toronto Blue Jays are here in Cochrane right now, actually training kids in baseball. How cool is this?
Very cool. So they did this a couple of years ago, and it was a total sold-out affair. Once again, same thing. So this is just for Cochrane youth, and basically it's like some of the trainers with the Blue Jays. So I don't think it's anybody from the actual team because they're actually playing ball right now. They're like in a 3-game series right now. And so they're just kind of teaching all these tips and tricks to some of Cochrane's finest little ball players. And Noel, our news guy, he went out and he grabbed a bunch of photos and video and whatnot, and very cool experience. Could you imagine being a kid, like a 10-year-old kid who's learning from somebody who's training professional athletes? Like, that's a pretty cool experience.
That is your break for the rest of your life. Anytime you pick up a bat, a baseball, you'd be like, hey, just so you know, I was trained by the Blue Jays, no big deal. And yet again, seeing stuff like this in Cochrane, this stuff maybe you would see maybe in Calgary, but they're coming out to town training these young guys and gals, and it's just excellent. But yeah, if you want to get your kids in it, you got to do it really early. As soon as it opens up, it fills. So yeah, checking out those photos, it's like, okay, next year we'll try a little harder.
Yeah, very cool.
And it's hot for those kids. I'm seeing a lot of pictures with squirt guns and stuff because Cochrane is currently in the middle of a heat wave, and it is actually one of the warmest times I can really remember in Cochrane. We usually get hit by a little bit, but we usually have more storms to kind of cool things off. It's been a solid week of like 30+ degree temperatures.
It's true, yeah. So I had a conversation with Environment Canada a little bit earlier on today because I was like, did we break a record? Because apparently 29 Alberta communities broke temperature, like heat records yesterday. So did Cochrane break a record? That's kind of the $1 million question. And basically the meteorologist that I talked to, he's like, Sort of. So we tied a record broken back in 1985. So we hit 31.8 degrees, which is what we hit back in 1985.
By the point.
Wow. So we didn't break a record. We tied our record. But yeah, pretty amazing. Doesn't look like we're going to break any other temperature records here for the rest of the week because we're hovering around that 30-degree mark, just kind of under. But there's a potential that we could get a storm. Yeah,
so we've been seeing more stuff from Alberta storm chasers saying, hey, some monster hail could be coming our way and all that kind of stuff. And it's funny, we were talking to Environment Canada about a different storm we had, and they're like, yeah, hail's pretty normal for Cochrane. Oh, good. That's awesome. Yeah. I was even talking to some of the dealerships in town. They're like, anytime it storms, you have to send out several people to do a walk around the lot. Make sure you don't have golf ball cars. But fingers crossed, we get some rain, but not so much the hail kind here, especially for the farmers market, which is going down on Saturday. Biggest year ever so far, and it just kicked off.
Yeah, pretty incredible. So it's the 26th year, I think, that it's been around. And their opening weekend, they actually broke records as far as attendance and the people going, through into the farmers market. I believe it was 3,000 people, which that's huge. I mean, it's a pretty decent sized space, but if you think about that many people, that's that's the size of a lot of communities, right? Oh, yeah. It's so cool. That is, it's such a great farmers market. You got such a wide variety of different things that you can purchase there, and every single time it's different. I mean, you got your staples, of course, every time with the bakery items and the fruits and the veggies and stuff, but there's always different variety. So it's so cool to see that many people want to utilize our farmers market.
To me, it just screams, I gotta figure out how to open a booth. If you have that many people down there, they must be making bank. Because I don't have any usable skills and I can't grow anything. So I don't know. I'll talk at you for a minute for $10.
Yeah, minor detail.
That is everything going on in Cochrane right now. Of course, you can grab this on all your favorite podcast services. And until next week, talk to you again soon.
Yeah.